Good day, students. My name is Wale Amachi. Still here to take you mathematics. Our topic for today is perimeter of plane shapes. We are still on plane shape. So under it, we shall be looking at perimeter of circles and triangles, perimeter of regular, quadrilaterals, and polygons, and perimeter of irregular quadrilaterals or shapes. But firstly, do we call perimeter? What is the meaning of perimeter? Perimeter of a shape. If you want to get the perimeter of a shape, you add all the value of the lengths of that shape together. So when you are talking about perimeter means the sum of the lengths of a particular shape. When you add all the lengths of that shape together. So for instance, look at this now. We have a diagram here. This diagram. When you look at this diagram very well, we have, if this is the starting point, you can see the starting point. Now from here to here is 3 centimeter. From here to downward is 3 centimeter. Here is 2 centimeter. Here is 1 centimeter. Here is 2 centimeter. 1 centimeter. Here is 2 centimeter. So when you add everything together, 3 centimeter plus 3 centimeter plus 2 centimeter plus 1 plus 1 plus 2, making 12 centimeter. So the perimeter of this shape is 12 centimeter when you add all the sides in that shape together. So that is what we mean by perimeter. Now, let's now move to perimeter of a circle. A circle. You should know by now that a circle is a plane shape. But when you look at a circle is neither having a length nor a breadth. So when we are talking about a circle, the formula for finding the perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r, or you use pi d. And perimeter of a circle is still the same thing as circumference of a circle. So when we are talking about circumference of a circle, it's still the same as perimeter of a circle. And I've told you the formula is 2 pi r or pi d. You use 2 pi r when you know the radius, and when you use pi d when you are given the diameter. And the value of our pi is always 22/7 or 3.14, and the d is standing for diameter, where our r is the radius of the circle. So when you look at that shape very well, under the properties of a circle, we have learned what a radius is and what diameter is. So we all know that a diameter is the line that divides this circle into 2 equal parts. And when you look at this shape as well, you have a reference point, which is the middle of the circle. You can see a line that comes from the middle to the part of the circle. So, and that is our radius. And when you want to look for your diameter is still the same thing as 2r. So it means your diameter d is equals to 2r, where your diameter is equals to 2 multiplied by radius. It means in one diameter, if this is the line that divides the circle into 2, and this is the middle, so you can see from the middle to the center to the circle, to the part of the circumference of the circle, that is 1 radius. From the center to the left hand side, that's another radius. So it means in a diameter you are going to see 2 radius. So formula is diameter is equals to 2r. And when you want to look for your radius will be diameter all over 2. So when you divide diameter divided by 2. So I've given us the formula finding the circumference of a circle. Now when you want to look for the radius of a circle, the formula is perimeter divided by 2 pi. So these are the key formulas in which you must be able to recollect anytime you need it. It is something you must learn. You must know it offhand. So the first thing you must know there is the formula finding the circumference of a circle, which is 2 pi r or pi d, and the formula finding the perimeter, the radius of a circle rather, which is perimeter over 2r. Now let's look at example 1 here. We have the circumference of a circle is 44 centimeter. Find its diameter. So in this question we are looking for the diameter of the circle, but you cannot do anything without getting the radius of the circle. So once we know the formula finding the radius of the circle, which is this, then apply that formula. Apply that formula. If you apply that formula, you still get the same thing as what you have on your screen. So here we are using the formula finding the circumference of the circle, whereby we just substitute the value of our pi and our circumference. Now, taking the formula to be circumference is equals to 2 pi r. So our circumference is 2 pi r. Then the circumference is the perimeter for the circle, which is the circumference of the circle, is 44 centimeter. You can see 44. Then 2 pi r. 2 times our pi. I told you that the value of our pi is 22 over 7 multiplied by our radius, which is unknown, then is equals to 44. So then we have 2 times 22, that is 44 all over 7 times r. Don't forget, if I have 2 times 22 over 7 times r is equals to 44. If I have something like this, that will be 2, this 2 multiplied by this 22, which we now later give me 40, that is 44 over what? Over 7 multiplied by r, which is equals to 44. Now from here, this is r over 1. So you can still multiply this numerator by numerator, denominator here by denominator. And when you do that, that will give you 44r all over 7 is equals to what? Is equals to 44. Are we together? So from there now, this is still the same thing as 44 over 1. Now if you want to remove, when you look at your r is having a coefficient of 44, which is the number that is beside your r. And when you look at your 44 and your r very well, you notice that the sign between the two of them is multiplication. And divided by 7 here. So if it means I will first remove this denominator, which is 7. And the relationship between the numerator and the denominator is division. So the best thing to do is multiply both sides by 7. So that this one will be 44r. That will be 44r over 7 multiplied by 7 is equals to 44 times 7. So here 7 here cancel this 7. So if that's cancel that, now I have 44r is equals to 44 multiplied by 7. Is that clear? So when this 7 cancel this 7, what I have left is 44r is equals to 44 multiplied by 7. Then I can now divide both sides by 44, which is the coefficient of r rather. So 44 here cancel 44. What I'm left with is r. So it means that 44 here also cancel 44. What I'm left here is what? Here is 1, which is 7. So here I have r is equals to 1 times 7, which will give me 7. So it means the value of my r is 7, which is here. Now, if my r is 7, and the question says I should look for my diameter. So I told you that diameter is the same thing as 2 times r. So that will be, my diameter will now be 2 times r, which is 7. So my diameter is equals to 14 centimeter. So that is for that. Now let's now move to the perimeter of a triangle. I have told the name of perimeter when you add all the sides of that shape together. So look at another example under perimeter of a triangle. When you look at the first triangle here, which is this, you will see that is an isosceles, an equilateral triangle. When you look at the symbol, it shows that this side, this, and this side are equal. So it means this is an equilateral triangle which will have the same. So if this side is 5 centimeter, this side will also be 5 centimeter, this will also be 5 centimeter. So my perimeter will just be 5, since they have the same length. So that will be 5 times, then how many sides is it having? Which is 3 sides. So that is why we have 5 centimeter multiplied by 3 sides, which is equal to 15 centimeter for the first one. Now when you look at the second diagram, it's a right angled triangle. It's a right angle triangle in which it has one angle of 90 degrees. So if you want to look for the perimeter of this shape as well, just add all the value of the sides together. So here I have 12 centimeter plus 13 centimeter plus 5 centimeter, which gives us 30 centimeter. So for this, now let's now move to perimeter of regular or irregular polygon. I told us that when we are talking of regular polygon, they are polygons that has an actual measurement, that is, the length of the polygons are equal. There is none of the side of the polygon that is different from each other. And that is why when you look at the example under this is a regular polygon, because this is a hexagon which has 6 sides. And when you look at the length of the shape, you will notice that they are all equal. So if you want to look for the perimeter of this shape, just take your ruler and measure one of the side. So when you measure AB, you can see the instruction. The simplest way to find the perimeter of any regular shape is to measure it directly with a ruler or a tape measure. So the first thing you have to do here is just take your ruler, measure line AB, measure line BC, measure line CD. So once you notice that the lines are equal, then they are regular polygon. So you just have to measure all the sides. So when you measure all the sides, you notice that they have the same value, which is the length of side AB is 1.6 centimeter. So once AB is 1.6 centimeter, then it means all the sides, the remaining 5 sides, will also be 1.6 centimeter. And to look for the perimeter, that will be 1.6 plus 1.6 plus 1.6 plus 1.6 in 6 places, which is still the same thing as 6 multiplied by 1.6, which is 6 times 6, that will give you 36. Write 6, remainder 3. Then 6 times 1, 6 plus 3, making 9. So here I have 96. Now here I have one number after the point. This is the decimal point. So we have one number here after this point, which is 6. One number. Then come back to your answer here. Just the point is already at the back of the whole number, which is here, then just move it back once as well. Then put your point there. So it means here I will also have 9.6 centimeter. Now let's move to an irregular shape. So this is an example of irregular shape, because when you look at AB is a straight line, BC is a straight line, but AC is a curved line. So in which is not a what? The same as AB. So if a shape has a curved side, use a piece of thread to get the shape of the curve. Is either you use a piece of thread or you use a string, just like a copper wire, to carve the curved side out, then place it back on a ruler to measure it. So to answer this kind of question, I measure the perimeter of the shape below. So when you take your ruler, measure line AB. When you measure AB, so AB here gives us 1.4 centimeter. Don't forget your ruler is not having millimeters. So even if the question is given to you in millimeters, you just have to convert it back to what you have on your ruler. So and BC is also the same length as AB. Sorry. So then you place your thread on this AC. Then after getting it, then place it back on your ruler, and measure it. So after placing this on a ruler, which is AC, after placing on the ruler, you can see AC or CA, we have 2.2 centimeter. Then the perimeter will now be AB, which is 1.4, plus BC, which is 1.4, plus AC, which is 2.2, which will now give us 4 plus 4 here 8, 8 plus 2 10, 0, remainder 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 2 4, plus the remainder, making 5 centimeters. I hope you are getting what I'm doing. Now let's now go to perimeter of a plane shape, perimeter of a square. Don't forget that a square is a four-sided polygon which is categorized under quadrilaterals, in which it has all its sides are equal in length. So if one side of a square is 5, the remaining 3 sides will also be 5. So a square is a regular four-sided shape. You have been told this before. If the length of one side of a square is L, then perimeter of a square will be 4L. So if one of the side is of a square is L, then the perimeter of the 4 sides will just be 4 multiplied by L, since they are having the same length. So as perimeter of a square, the formula is 4L. You will notice that under this perimeter we are dealing with formulas, and these are the things you must know. You must not forget it. Now, so the perimeter of a square is 4L, and when you are looking for the length of a square, the formula you are going to use there is perimeter of the square divided by 4, since it's having 4 sides. Now let's now look at one or two examples under the perimeter of a square. Calculate the perimeter of a square of side 12.3 centimeter. So you are given the length. It's just for you to look for the perimeter. So to look for the perimeter, just multiply the length by what? By 4. So we are given the length to be 12.3, then multiply by 4, applying the formula for finding the what? The perimeter of a square. Now that will now give you 4 multiplied by 12.3. So here I have 4 times 3, that is 12. Write 2, remainder 1. Then 4 times 2, 8, plus the remainder, that is 9. Then 4 times 1, that is 4. Now go back to this number. We have one number after the point. So then come back to this shift it once as well, then bring back your point. So that will give you 49.2 centimeter. So the perimeter will be 49.2 centimeter. Now example 2. A square assembly area has a perimeter of 56 meter. So it means we are given the perimeter of the square. Find the length of the assembly area. Here we are looking for only the length. So, and I've told us that the formula finding the length of a square is perimeter all over 4. So if I want to look for the length here, you can see length is equals to the perimeter of a square, which is 56 divided by 4. Then 56 in 4, 4 in 56, that will give us 14 meters. So our answer here is 14 meters. Now note, the formula for perimeters of rectangles and square can be useful. However, if you find it difficult to remember the formula or formulae, always sketch the given shape and work from that. So it means whenever you forget formulas and you are dealing with perimeter, just try to carve out the shape. Then once you know the measurement for each of the sides, then just add them together. It will give you the perimeter of the square. Now let's move to perimeter of rectangles. Perimeter of rectangles. When you look at a rectangle, thank God we have done properties of a rectangles in which we have two opposite sides. Two opposite sides are equal. So it means here we look at this side and this side are equal. Then this vertical side are also equal. Now, if I now have this side to be the length, this will also be my length, this will be my breadth, this will also be my breadth. Now, the perimeter will now be, I told us that the perimeter will be the sum of the length. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So when you add all the 4 sides together, that will give you the perimeter of the shape, which is length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. And when you look at it very well, it means we have length plus breadth in 2 places. That is length plus breadth in bracket, then plus length plus breadth in brackets. So it means I have length plus breadth in 2 places, and that's why you see if I have length plus breadth plus length plus breadth, so it means this is 1, this is 2, so which is same thing as 2 in bracket length plus breadth, then close it. So simple as that. So the formula of finding the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 open bracket length plus breadth. Now let's look at the examples we have under the perimeter of a rectangle. Example 1. Calculate the perimeter of a football field which measures 80 meter by 50 meter. When you look at a football pitch, the shape of a football pitch is in form of a rectangle in which it has length and what? And breadth. The shape of a football field is just like this slide that you are looking at. So in this question we have been given the measurement, which is length and breadth. When you look at this will be my length and this will be my breadth. Why? Because the length is always longer than the breadth. So the perimeter will now be 2 open brackets length plus breadth, which is 2 multiplied by the length 80 plus 50 all in meters. So that will be 2 times 80 plus 50, that is 130. Then 2 times 130, that is 260 meters. So the perimeter of the football pitch or football field will be 260 meters, applying the formula. Now example 2. A rectangular piece of land measures 57 meters by 42 meters. What is the perimeter of the land? The same type of question. So you are looking for the perimeter of the rectangular piece of land, in which your formula will be 2 open bracket length plus breadth. So we have been given the length here to be 57 meter, then our breadth is 42 meter. So just apply the formula. That will be 2 open bracket length plus breadth, then that will be 2 in bracket length, that is 57, plus breadth, which is 42 centimeter. Then when you add everything together, that will give you 99 meter. Then multiply it by 2, you have 198 meters. Now let's now move to perimeter of a parallelogram. Since you have known the meaning of perimeter, you don't need to have any problem with any of these question. Just add, once you can draw the shape and you know the measurement, just add all the sides together. So you can see a parallelogram. A parallelogram also has two of its opposite sides are also equal. It has a pair of sides of equal in length or equal in sides. So when you look at this side and this side, they are equal. This side and this side are also equal. So if I want to look for the perimeter, if this side is y, this side will also be y. If this side is x, this side will also be x. So my perimeter is still the same thing as y plus x plus y plus x, which is still the same thing as 2 open brackets x plus y. So let's now look at one example under this. And the question is, the perimeter of a parallelogram is 48 centimeter. You can see we are given the perimeter. If one side is 15 centimeter, find the adjacent side. It means find the other side. Now if I want to look for the other side, my formula is 2 open brackets x plus y. Now I've been given the perimeter to be 48 is equals to 2 open brackets, then one of the side is given, which is 15. So I can make my x to be 15 or my y to be 15 centimeter. Just any one. Just make sure you use any one of the two. So then open the bracket by 2. That is 2 times 15. Or divide both sides by 2. Okay, divide both sides by 2. And if you like, you can first open the brackets. So if you divide both sides by 2, that will give you 48 divided by 2, that will give you 24. Then the 2 here, that will be 48 over 2 is equals to 2 open bracket 15 plus y all over 2. All over 2. 2 here 1, 2 here 24. 2 here cancel 2. So when you look at it very well, I have 24 is equals to 15 plus y. I have 24 is equals to 15 plus y. Then collect the like terms here. So this is 24. Here I have 24. This is plus 15. Bring plus 15 to the other side. Plus 15 returns to minus 15, which is equals to y. So y is there then equals to 24 minus 15. That will give you 9. So it means the adjacent side will be 9 centimeter. So if this side is 15 centimeter, this side will be 9 centimeter. So that is the end of our class for today. I hope and I believe you understand what we mean by perimeter of a shape. Is any shape you are given, just measure the length of the side and add everything together. So here we have a class activities which should be submitted latest by Thursday evening. And question 1 there is calculate the perimeter of a circle of radius 70 centimeter. Use the value 3 number 1 over 7 for pi. So don't forget your formula will be 2 pi r since you are given the radius. Then number 2, two sides of a parallelogram are lengths 5 centimeter and 8 centimeter. Calculate the perimeter of the parallelogram, which is 2 open bracket x plus y. Then 3. Find the perimeter of a rectangle of length 8.5 centimeter and breadth 4.5 centimeter. Don't forget the perimeter of a rectangle, which is 2 open bracket length plus breadth. So please make sure you work it out and make sure you snap it clearly for me to view. And if you have any question, just let me know. Inbox me on my WhatsApp number privately. So I wish you good luck. Please stay safe. Goodbye.